Greetings, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of News Reboot. Today is like a few following Monday news reboots, a recorded episode because we are on a summer vacation with Betty. Stefan will be here watching at the house. Uh, Please, if you haven't done so already, leave a like, subscribe, and tickle the notification bell, and check all of the links in the description box below. And a huge thank you to my patron Flems. I would like to remind you of the existence of my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/ Heidi's Corner, and there will be a link up there and in the description box below. There is tiers starting from €3 a month, which is the Unicorn crew, and this goes up to €30 a month for Bertil's people. Huge thank you to Flems, who is my patron. Patron has Patreon page of mine has existed for 10 months or so at this point, and Flems has been my patron from almost the very beginning. So big shout out to Flems. So this week I'll be extending from what I talked about last week Monday on News Reboot, which was about the Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis being an absolute pig flute. Okay, I mentioned that this week I'll be talking about DeSantis's press secretary, Christina Pushaw. She's been she's been horrible, saying all kinds of shit about the opposers of the so-called "Don't Say Gay" bill, which I've talked about a number of times. The bill then went through and became law. So just check my news reboot episode from last week, and there's a bit more about it. As I said, as I've stated in news reboots and Monday news episodes previously, that these bills have caused quite a stir. There's been, as mentioned last week, there's been several other similar bills become law in other states, in addition to these horrendous bathroom and sports bills. I could talk about these in length and in the future, and now and in the future, but it would be probably to no avail and counterproductive, no use, because I've talked about these bills so many times about these, and I've mentioned to some degree in my past videos. So I'll set my eyes in the future for more possible and probable bills in other states, and possibly new types of bills that may or may not arise in the state of Florida and in other states as well. I would expect to see more of these videos in the southern states, especially where you can find a lot of these fundamentalist evangelical Christians, which are the ones who are the proponents of these bills, and they'll push probably in the future these bills, which are quite despicable. However, there are certain, shall I say, side effects or ripple effects of these bills when they come into force, and even before that, when they are pushed around in the state parliaments or state senates, I think it's the correct term. Um, there's a lot of um, these always when they come about. There's always this horrible, hateful commentary um, when it comes to these laws, and there is this. So this is something that the Senator Ron DeSantis's press secretary, Christina Pushaw, has doubled down on it and gone on Twitter, which is the playground for Karens, well, one of them, and she's been spewing out quite hateful shit recently. So let's check the article from LGBTQNation.com about this topic. So this is what she looks like. Not very pretty, I think. Okay, and I will put these on the screen as well. And she's been spewing out this age-old homophobic shit that has long that she spews out this shit that the LGBTQ plus people would be somehow magically dangerous to children, which the decades and centuries old practical knowledge, practical demonstration has shown that this is not the case due to some hitherto unknown reasons. And she's calling the bill, DeSantis's the anti-gay bill. She's calling it an anti-grooming bill, saying it was, and I quote, "It was my personal account, and I was tweeting off work hours." The governor, in his statement about this legislation, has emphasized the importance of parental rights and making sure all instructions in our schools is developmentally appropriate. For ages 3 to 9, classroom instructions on sexual topics is not developmentally appropriate, and it's difficult to understand why anyone would disagree. I don't know if she has children herself. Apparently, it would seem that she may or may not have children of her own because it should be blatantly obvious to everyone who has children that by the age of 9, children will ask questions about sex and sexual topics. And by the age of 9, at the age of 9, many girls, not well, a significant number of girls will have had her first period at the age of 9. It's not unheard of that a girl at the age of 9 has already had her first period, and if you for a girl who has already had her first period, I can't see a reason, an actual reason as to why any reasonable parent wouldn't have talked about reproductive human hasn't talked about the human reproductive system to some degree, and that involves talking about sex. It's inevitable, and it's quite okay. I would be highly surprised if no one had ever mentioned, if no one talks to a menstruating girl about well, because you cannot avoid the topic if you talk about periods to a girl, you cannot avoid talking about sex on an age appropriate level, so that there's a soft, quote unquote soft version of sex. So Governor DeSantis' press secretary Fuchs has claimed, uh, as well as DeSantis himself and many others of their niche, that LGBTQ plus people are groomers and child abusers, which is not the case. She also seems, as I said, she said that the Don't Say Gay bill is somehow an anti-groomer bill. She also seems to think that the Don't Say Gay bill is to prevent uh, isn't to prevent freedom of speech and prevent folks from saying gay. She just seems to think that it's only to stop groomers and child abusers. But hey, come on, Christina, are you fucking kidding me? Horrible, horrible bitch. What the fuck is wrong? I mean, come on, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? Christina, what the fuck is wrong with you? Huh? I, based on everything she said, I'll just link the article in the description box as well, so you can go read it yourself. And I highly doubt she has actually even read the bill. Based on what she's spewing out, she clearly hasn't read the bill, at least in its entirety. Or even if she has, or if even if she has read it, she clearly hasn't been hasn't been able to take in what she has just read. Okay, so just let's take on the tweets. The first one is she's saying this would have been in March of this year, March 5th this year. Okay, she's saying the first one, the bill that liberals inaccurately call don't say gay don't say gay would be more accurately described as anti-grooming bill. Come on, Christina, seriously. Uh, she's also saying that if you're, and I quote Christina Puschel's tweet, if you're against the anti-grooming bill, you are probably a groomer, or at least you don't denounce the grooming of 4 to 8 year old children. Silence is complicity. She's an absolute cunt. Silence is complicity. This is how it works, Democrats, and I didn't make the rules. She's a horrible, horrible, despicable bitch. So once again, we can see these Karens and other fundamentalist nutjobs with right wing numbnuts and strong religious affiliations, and often evangelicals, completely lacking self-awareness, with a strong case of personal incredulity and strong Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger is, when the less you know, the more you think you know. That when you have the least amount of knowledge, you think that you are the best expert on the subject into the entirety of the world, which is quite ironical in my opinion. In my opinion, these people are often the most dangerous people in the world, to the civilized society and political system of any given country. If we just horrible, despicable people. If we let these people roam free in the political system and freely act in politics, they'll turn our countries into totalitarian dictatorships, all in the name of democracy and freedom, which is just what happened to so many countries who eventually ended up in an authoritarian dictatorship, whether it be far right, far left, or something in between. These shifts have a very high potential of going horribly wrong if nothing is done. This is why we need activists and sensible people voted into places of decision making in governments, whether it be local or national. We don't want history to repeat itself. Anyway, this was again a bit heavier topic than, but okay, I have a lot of heavy topics, but this was probably from the heavier side, I think. Probably especially for my American viewers who have to grapple with these things on a daily basis, especially in the southern states. The family, my heart goes out to these young people and their families, and of course the teaching staff in the schools who suffer from this horrible fight against this right wing numbnuts who make their lives a lot worse and a lot more difficult. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please check the links down below. There are links to my Patreon, which is patreon.com/Heidi's Corner, as well as my PayPal. Playlist links are in the description box below also, and the invitation links to my Discord servers, which are Heidi's Corner, which is my channel server, as well as there's another one, LGBT safe space server as well. Links are in the description. And once again, very big thank you to my patron, Flems. I'll see you next week.